I'm back. Today I'm going to show you guys my very highly requested eyebrow routine. Let's get into it. First things first, my face is all cleansed and moisturized, all of that. I'm going to go ahead and jump in with some translucent powder. This helps if you do have oilier skin or if you just put on some moisturizer, sunscreen, any type of liquidy cream base. It will help to soak all of that moisture up around your brow so it's easier to apply whatever pencil gel that you're applying on them. I'm just going to take the one size translucent powder. You can use literally any powder, even if it's pressed, but I just prefer a translucent. I'm just going to take the powder on a little like fluffy brush and put some on my brows. Just tap it on there. It's okay if it gets messy, you can just wipe it away, but just see how it soaks up all of that powder and excess oil. It's all good if you have a white cast, because especially if you do your brows first, it's all good because you're just going to put foundation, concealer, whatever around them anyway, so it doesn't really matter how it looks now. Next, I'm just going to take a spoolie and spoolie out my brows upwards. Just comb them or brush them however you want them. I'm using the Benefit spoolie. Next, I'm going to go into my Anastasia. This is the Brow Freeze Brow Styling Wax. It just looks like this. It's kind of like a brow freeze wax. You put it on your brows and they're supposed to stay in place while you put your product on top. I'm taking this brush from the Morphe / Meredith Duxbury collection. It has like a spoolie on one end and then a little like spatula on the other to scoop out the product. I'm just gonna scoop some out. You don't need too much. Depending on how thick or fluffy your brows are, you might need a little more, but my brows are on the more sparse side, so we don't need that much product. I'm gonna go ahead and take this starting at the front of my brow and just work it throughout. There's no specific way you have to do it. Just put it on there and make sure it sticks. Once it's on the brow, I'm gonna take the spoolie end and just comb them upwards or shape them however you want them. After doing that, I'm taking the spatula side and just putting it flat onto my brow, putting them nice and flat like that, just so we have them in place where we want them. Don't do this step until you know this is where your brows want to be. So make sure you comb them in the right direction first, and then lastly take the spatula and flatten them all together. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other brow and I'll be right back with y'all. All right, once your brows are flattened to your face how you like them, I'm gonna go in with a powder. You can use like a pencil on your brows, but personally when I put pencil or anything over this that's not powder, it usually doesn't stick as well. So I'm gonna go in with some powder. This is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Powder in the shade 6 Cool Soft Black. I'm gonna take this on my Benefit spoolie that I used earlier. The other side is a like angled brow brush. I like to dampen the tip of the brow brush just a little bit with like a baby wipe or literally a setting spray, whatever, just so it gets a really fine tip, and you just squeeze it together and the tip is super sharp and fine. I'm just gonna start at the front. It's a little bit dry now. You don't want to put it on there when it's still wet like this brow. You're gonna want to wait till it's a little bit dry and more translucent. But I'm just gonna go in with the brush straight flat and I'm gonna do hair-like strokes. But you're just gonna want to go in with hair-like strokes all throughout your brow and just keep continuing on until it's at your desired look. Now, personally, I gotta do a little bit more strokes for the folks because I don't got as much hair, but you know what? It's okay. It's all right. Once I'm done creating all the strokes, I'm gonna go in again with the brush and just outline the bottom, just so we can have a defined brow. That's how I like mine. All right, guys, I think we have a pretty defined brow. This is how it turned out so far. Now, you guys are welcome to leave it like this, but you guys know I love a snatch brow. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the other brow, and then I'll be back to conceal them with you guys. All right, y'all, I just finished filling in my brows. So you guys, like I said, can stop here, but y'all know I like to conceal them. So I'm gonna go in lastly with the Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer by Too Faced. Mine is in the shade Butterscotch. You guys have to use the right brush, okay? Please don't be out here trying to conceal your brows and using the wrong brush. Let me tell you a good one. This is the Morphe M224. I'm not really sure on Morphe. Like, I don't know what they sell and what they don't anymore because they're not in stores. So take a gamble, search online if you can find this brush. It is magnificent. So definitely get your hands on this for concealing. Please don't conceal the top of your brows, y'all. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but don't do it. So I'm just gonna go in on the bottom. I like to start at the front just to clean up all that mess right there that we made. I also just take the concealer on my lid as well. I also go in between my eyebrows just a little bit, just so I can kind of, you know, clean that part up as well. Last step is to blend and set. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take a fluffy blending brush. This is just the Deluxe Crease Brush by Real Techniques. I'm gonna go ahead and just blend it out. I don't have any powder on this brush or anything. It's just a brush to blend. And then going in the middle of my brows, I just like to go up and down like that. Then I take the top of the brush and kind of feather it onto the start of where my brows are, just so it's kind of like an ombre effect. You wanna tap lightly. All right, and the last step we're gonna do is add some setting powder again. So I'm gonna add the same setting powder, the one size translucent, to my whole lid. lid, and then I'm gonna tap a little bit on my brows to set them in place. And any excess powder, don't dip into it again, but any excess powder you have, just dust it over your brows to set them in place so they are all set, don't look shiny, and yeah, they just look perfect. Perfect. All right, you guys, one last step I'm gonna show you is if you want your brows to be a little bit more curved, take the end of your spoolie, curve them like this on the side so they're not sticking straight up. You see how these hairs are more like sticking straight up? It all depends on how you want them. So if you do want that fluffy look but you don't want them straight up, just curve them with the end of your spoolie like that. And then if there's anything excess on the side of your brow that you don't want, you can just take a Q-tip and just take it off like this without using concealer so it doesn't look harsh. And yeah, super duper cute. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other brow because I do like my brows sometimes curved on the side. So just gonna curve the other one. All right, you guys, this is the end of my brow routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I've been getting a lot of comments and questions on how I do my brows recently, so I had to give it to y'all. Let me know in the comments below how you do your brows, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.